Yo, what's good YouTube? Welcome back to another video. And boy, in this video, we got some huge 2K news. It's gonna be a fun one. So grab your popcorn. I mean, hit the subscribe button because we're gonna have more stuff like this coming out. I mean, let's just get straight into the news. So, 2K just released a courtside report for NBA 2K23, the first of the year, and it released like tons of information, some good, some bad. But I'm gonna be going over it all in this video. Okay, 2K released this courtside report like I was talking about, and they went through a bunch of stuff. So, as you can see here, this is the offensive gameplay section. But in the top, it's kind of saying how there's new features, if they have more authenticity, it's more realistic, and just how like they elevated the gameplay. But 2K says this every year, it's not that big of a deal. But for offensive gameplay, defense was the point of emphasis, which I don't really know if I agree with that because I feel like offense was really easy. But yeah, I would say this is a really big one. It's a new mechanic called double throws, and it's kind of like you flick the pro stick in a direction, and you kind of do certain gestures and moves. Mostly dunks, as you can see here. This is the kind of like the mapping system for it for dunks. Up two hand, right strong hand, left weak hand, right rim hang, or down rim hang, up flashy two hands. So this is kind of like a combo. You flick it up and then kind of let it go down back down to the center like your joystick, and then flick it up again, down up flashy one hand, up down normal skill dunk with meter, and then down rim hang dunk with meter. So dunk meter does make a return, as you can see right here. But yeah, it's kind of showing like you have more control. I'm not really sure if this is a good or bad thing. I guess you gotta see how 2K executes it because it's kind of like they do this every year. And I think this is only for next gen, new gen as they call it here. And they have this video, it's of Zion. This is just kind of the rim hang. It kind of looks like a basic dunk, but whatever. And then this is a big one, slashers. You get more like finesse with top step, euros, and then they released this Devin Booker. Right here, it's kind of a scoop layup. Again, I don't really see it like a difference, but who knows? I haven't played the game. There's new contact layups, which right now seems bad, because you know paint defense was just like how bad as it was in 2K22. But like we're gonna get into the defensive part. So they added new layup packages for next gen and current gen. These are all the players: Devin Booker, Joel Embiid, Allen Iverson, Magic Johnson, Nikola Jokic, Zach LaVine, John Morant, Super, Diron Taurasi, and obviously going to release more. This is decent, I guess. I mean, we haven't really used their layup packages yet. And for like post players, post scorers, double throws can be used for post drop steps and hop steps. And then it's kind of like adding, like we have more control over what post scorers do. Again, like this is another one of those things. It could be make it more balanced or be OP. We just gotta see how 2K does it. And then this is a big one, combined mesmerizing skill moves. This is kind of like comboing up, you know what I'm saying? You can like do more instead of like left right. You can have more moves in your arsenal to really get open. You can chain like a bunch of like moves together, as like it says, to get by your defender. And there's more to this that we're gonna get into later. But you can chain your player's normal signature size up with like the pro stick back and forth. You kind of just use your pro stick to combo up. This is probably going to be more for like play now. But I guess you can still use it in park. And they released another video. This is Steph Curry kind of doing it. I don't really see a difference again with these new dribbling. But I mean, again, like we got to see what 2K does with it. Adrenaline boost. This is another one. It's kind of like fatigue, and they kind of made it to where you can't just left right the entire shot clock. And you can see how it works is there are 3 boosts per possession. And if I go into this video, you can see the boost right on my cursor. You can see Lonzo Ball. That's him over dribbling. You see the fatigue bar goes down, and he gets slower. But yeah, that's just kind of really that. And boosts are consumed every time you perform a hard go or explosive sprint cut. So yeah, I guess that's more realistic. It seems good, but again with 2K you never really know. More authentic shooting. Next section. Shooting gets nice upgrades, blah 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 blah. They say this like every year. The new addition is shooting attributes. This is huge. I'm gonna get into this later. There's like a whole graph for it because there's more news to this than just this article. There's a bunch more that I'm gonna get into. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you haven't liked the video already, obviously you're enjoying it, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna be going crazy with the news, because it's this time of the year, and according to my statistics, like, you aren't even subscribed, odds are. So like, just hit that subscribe button. But anyways, there's new signature jump shots, and they're saying how the animations are like kind of more aesthetic, but this now it kind of matters when you're rating. So these are the 4 kind of categories that determine the effectiveness of a shot, and so that's shot speed, release height, which is interesting. So I wonder if like a Larry Bird would be the meta now rather than like a Rudy Gay. Defensive immunity is like contest, and then timing impact. We're gonna get into this later, how this was really changed for the better. But see, there's new shot animations, and for my player shot animations, so like dribble pull-ups, and even like jump shot creator stuff will be determined by your shooting rating. We don't yet know what the builder system is, but we do have a little bit more info on that. But yeah, this is big though. There is 15, really like 20, around 20 new shot meters. But most of them are gonna come later in the year. But these are the 5 to start with. This is huge. This is the new shot meter. I'm gonna start from the beginning. Okay, this is the shot meter that already got leaked. The next one, it's kind of more slim. I don't really know. That one's not as good. This one is kind of like this year's one, just again like a little slimmed down. This one is just like a straight bar. I don't really like that one. And this one is by your feet. As you know from 2K17, it's back like that. And they even mentioned it here in the article. As it says right here, comparing it to 2K17 and 2K20. And you get to choose a shot meter, which I think is really, 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 really good. I still don't think meter is going to be the wave. But yeah, shot feedback is also a big difference this year. They use shot arcs to indicate rather like you're early, late, or on time, so you kind of know what's going to happen whenever you shoot it based off like the arc of your shot. And this is another big one. With shot feedback enabled, we're delaying the timing / coverage overlay and the grid and release animations from coming up to add suspense until the ball hits the basket. I kind of like it, but I can see how it's mixed there. So it kind of like waits for you. You don't know if you green it until it hits the basket. Yeah. Next is facilitating the offense, kind of like for passing and playmaking. There's new tools. You can lead to the basket, like all that we kind of saw. It's just nobody used it. And then down here, you could see spot up mechanic. Again, like this kind of the same thing, but this is new. A signature passing animation. This is kind of like a passing style. Steph Curry, Magic Johnson, Jason Williams, LeBron, and more. So this is gonna be like kind of where you go like your playmaking moves or dribble animation. This is gonna be part of that. Defensive gameplay. This has definitely changed a good bit. As we're gonna start with the on-ball defense. There's new kind of one-on-one interactions, and there's 3 bars that represent, you know, straight up, shade left, shade right, and you can use one of those. Like if it's shown in red, the ball handler is gonna get stopped, you know, lose the ball, whatnot. And so it kind of just like rewards good players for just being good at the game, as you can see here. The next is shot blocking. This is kind of just like kind of the same. It's kind of said more realistic and predictable, but like I don't really know how I feel about that. But yeah, so as I said, no more small guards pulling off LeBron James level chase down blocks like last year. That seems good because again, like that's way less realistic, but I guess we're gonna have to see how it plays out and see if like the guards don't get chased down blocks at all. But now it's saying like it's risky to pull off tomahawks, back scratchers, and it's kind of making it harder to block dunks essentially, which I don't know if I like it. And highlight reel dunks boost takeover, which kind of like Showtime that was in 2K21. And this is a new system called flyby dunks, which is like if you're late closing out, you can just do like a highlight flyby dunk for perimeter shooters. That doesn't happen often, but I don't really know how 2K is gonna do it. Steals and off-ball strips. They say this every year, like, it's kind of the same stuff, how they improved this. Failed strip contact layups is a thing. But there's not really more, like, I don't know. There's diving ball saves that, like, kind of add, like, recognition to where if you're close to out of bounds or not. So you can just tap the ball back into play. So I guess that's fine. But for the part that I feel like most of us care about, because most of that stuff is 5v5, badges, builds, and takeovers. There's going to be a player builder refinement to make some more balance. Big W, but we don't know what it is. And then, you know, over here, it's kind of, you could do a 3v3 to test your build instead of like the 5v5 micro game. Yeah. And another huge thing is that animation purchases will transfer builds. So like, say I have a play shot and a slasher build that both get the same animations. I only have to buy it once. So I guess that's good. And for current gen, you're not going to get pie charts, so that kind of confirms no pie charts. That is huge. And it's going to have the same builder system as next gen. We don't know what that builder system is, but it will have the same. And there's a new next gen badge system, which is kind of like breaking it up into tiers. See, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Tier 1 badge is powerful, but costs more, so on and so forth. You get it. Somewhat like we are here. But I don't know if there's like Hall of Fame badges or whatnot. I don't really know how that's going to work. And they also added core badges, which is like if you complete like a certain quest or challenge, you get a certain badge that you kind of get without spending points. But these are the new badges. They added Slither, which just kind of makes it like Slither Finisher. Masher, which is like ability to create layups over defenders, which is like Fearless Finisher. Aerial Wizard is like alley-oops and putbacks, so it's like putback boss and Lob City Finisher combined. And Bully, which is kind of just like making you a big body, and the Remove Hook Specialist, which really doesn't matter unless you're a post scorer. For shooting, ability to hit difficult 3-point shots off the dribble. This is huge. I feel like 99.9% of guards are going to be using this badge. It seems really good. Improved ability to knock down mid-range jumpers, act post like MJ. This is kind of like post ace or fade ace. I don't even know what it's called. Nobody uses that. Amped is kind of like Tireless Shooter. It reduces the penalty when you're fatigued, like Tireless Shooter from previous 2Ks. Claymore, which is like set shooter. The more you sit in a certain spot, the better chance you have of knocking it down. Comeback Kid, which is somewhat like Clutch Shooter, but not really. It's just when you're trailing, you have the ability to shoot, which I feel like would be good, because even if you're down like 2-0, this badge is activated, so that's good. Hand down, man down, it makes an outside shooter deadlier if your opponent fails to get a hand in his face. It could be good, but if like a player is like half decent, it's not really good. And this is a big one, Space Creator, formerly a playmaking badge. It now makes you hit like step back jumpers and all that, and will cause your defender to stumble more often. I don't know if that means like ankle breakers. I can't wait to see it, because obviously in 2K22 there weren't enough ankle breakers. And then this is the best one. Limitless range making its return, kind of self-explanatory, able to hit it from deep, as you can see, an old favorite returns. This is big. I mean, it's a huge W from 2K. And then another, they removed a lot of badges. Chef, Hot Zone Hunter, Lucky 7, Mismatch Expert, which was later removed to playmaking that we're going to get into. Set Shooter, Sniper, and Limitless Spot Up. Hot Zone Hunter removed, that's big. Sniper, here we are. 2K, huge W. Sniper removed, obviously it was OP. So I wonder if like less white's going in, which is good. Playmaking, they added a thing, Killer Combo, which is kind of like your size up dribble moves, which is a combination of quick gain and tight handles. This seems OP. Hopefully it's not. I don't know. We're gonna see. Clamp Breaker, it can make you win like more one-on-one body bump confirmations. It's like a counter to clamps, as it says. You know those clamps animations kind of prevents those. Vice Grip, this is really good for bigs. After grabbing a rebound, you have a less chance of getting stripped. And Mismatch Expert, like we said, formerly a shooting badge, but now as a guard you can get by bigger players better. And then they removed Bullet Passer downhill, Blue Hand to stop go. Bullet Passer we're going to get into later. Defensive / rebounding, they have Anchor, which is kind of like ability to block and test shots in the paint, which seems good. Hope maybe this is a fix to paint defense. I'm not really sure. Box Out Beast, which is like Box from last year. Workout Horse, which is like Menace from last year. Glove, which is kind of like you can strip players, like Ball Stripper, and pickpocket kind of combined here for glove, and then challenger is effectiveness of perimeter shots, which might be an addition to intimidator because this is only perimeter shots, it says. And they removed defensive leader, which I'm not really sure how many people use that. And this is the last thing, pretty big. Team takeover is no longer where like a certain player has to fill up their bar. We're gonna get into more of this later, like a bunch of things, because again there is more news. But takeover meter, team takeover is one big bar that like each person has to account for a certain amount. Then once all that's filled up, you get team takeover. And then the last is just kind of like AI improvements. I don't think many people care about it. It's just saying AIs are smarter off the dribble. And that's really it. Just making it to where AIs adjust better. Okay, we're on Twitter, and you can see Mike Wang, Beluba, gameplay director. He tweeted, "It's about to go down." Then 2K released a courtside report. And in this tweet from 2K themselves, it says, each signature, jump shot, shooting stats, new shot meters, gestures, and badge system. We kind of went over that. And then this is one, SIG jumpers have attributes and rating requirements in NBA 2K23. So this is kind of like pull-up, dribble pull-ups and all that. And even like for a jump shot creator. This is it, kind of like the rating requirements. Steph Curry and Kyrie need the max. Trae Young's down here, and you can see these are the 4 things that we're talking about: height, speed, impact, and all that. It's kind of in a grade. But he did reply to a tweet. A lot of SIG jumpers have changed. Biggest content refresh in years. Seems like a W, but we can't really bet on anything. And this is one that didn't make it into the courtside report, but you can now use custom like controller settings to know where you release your jump shot, which is gonna make it kind of easier to time jump shots. And as you can see from the playmaking, like I said, bullet passer's gone. Pass accuracy ties into your speed of passes, obviously a must-have for playmakers. And it's like I said, current gen pie charts are gone, but he said double takeover for current gen. That's, I guess, a W. And then the last thing he said, driving dunk rating dictates how easy it is to block a dunk and all that. But that's really mostly like all of it. I know it was a lot. I mean, obviously, like it sounds like a W, but like it's on and off for 2K especially. But we're gonna get more to come, so that's why you need to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like to get more videos like this, where it's like huge news. Gonna be getting more info about the park, build system, and all that in the coming weeks, really soon. But yeah, follow the social in the description, and I'm out. Peace.